Hello everyone to another episode of Millenialz Checklist, where you're with Chris and Zach. So, have you heard about Elizabeth Gilbert's book Eat, Pray, Love?
Yes, I heard about it, but I didn't read it.
Have you watched the movie?
No.
You haven't watched the movie? Okay.
No.
So, the book is actually quite interesting.
Okay.
Though I watched the movie, so I'll tell you about the movie.
Okay.
The author, it's kind of a self-biography, something like that.
Okay.
The author is the main character
Okay.
in the book, and in the beginning of the book, she's married and she files for divorce.
Okay.
After she files for divorce, she meets another guy, lives with him, and they have a falling out. So she goes to Europe, or she goes around the world to discover herself.
Okay.
So she goes to Europe and spends time in Europe. Then she goes to India to a monastery
Okay.
to find herself in a spiritual way. And after that, she ends up on Bali, where she meets a guy who also he had a failed marriage, he has kids, and he doesn't want to get married.
Okay.
So through the course of the movie, they end up together.
Okay.
And there is a sequel to the book where they decide to be together, and he wants to marry her.
Okay.
And she is he can't go back to the US because of some issue with his company or something like that.
Okay.
Something's gone wrong and he was deported from it, and he can't go back.
Okay.
Something. His business is in a kind of a crisis because of that, and something like that. And that book I actually read. The second one I actually read. It's called Committed. In the book, she explains the European concept of marriage, and in addition, the American way of marriage.
Okay.
And then since they are in Asia, they went from Bali, so she explains a way of marriage kind of there. They go to Cambodia.
Okay.
And then she explains the marriage in that region, and then they go to Philippines and marriage there, and why people get married in each part of the world. And after the whole process of, I think it was like almost a year, like 8 months to almost a year,
Okay.
that they went around the region because he couldn't finish. He couldn't set up the business to go back to US. They finally do it, and they go back to US and actually get married.
Wow.
And at the beginning of the book, the first one, she got divorced, and she said, I will never marry.
Okay.
And at the end of the second one, she actually does marry again.
Wow. Okay.
And it's a whole process of her accepting the way that she actually wants to get married, or she wants to put an overall structure on their relationship.
Okay.
Let's say it like that. So, what do you think about the concept of marriage? Are you for or against it? And why?
What do I think about concept of marriage? I'm not for or against it, but I think that it is not necessary, because that concept is a contract between two people on on legal boundaries when they have children together. Because if you don't have children together, you don't need the marriage contract, in my opinion. You don't need it at all. Because you can do everything. You can do everything with the person you are with. You are two grown-up individual people. And you can do everything, and you don't need to involve state laws in your relationship. But when you have kids, the kids need to go to school, to the doctor, blah blah blah, and you need because you are parent, and you need a legal contract and legal boundaries in which you can raise your kids, and then the marriage makes sense only because of that. If you don't involve children, I think marriage is not necessary. I'm not either for or against it, but I think when you don't have children, it is not necessary. You can do everything. You can proclaim your love. You can give vows. You can proclaim your vows in front of friends without need to involve state or state laws or state representatives. You can do everything, but you only need legal boundaries when you have children together, and that's it.
Is it because of the cultural norms where it's unusual to have children without marriage or the family as a one unit? Let's say if a mother has one surname and the parent and the father has another, and then the child has one of those or both, or
because
the child can actually have different surnames. So.
Because in a practical way, when you have the same surname, you can legally do stuff for the other person.
You mean it's easier for people to believe your word without papers to do stuff?
Yes, because
to finalize some legal documents.
Okay, yes, because you have it is easier. You need to do something legally. When you, for example, you want to give your apartment to your mother, or mother wants to give apartment to you. Okay. She can give you so she can. Okay, I can give gift of car or apartment to you. Gift. Legally. But
within a family, or
no.
Like
for example, we are friends.
Okay.
I can give you a gift of for example, I can gift you my house.
You started with a card.
Okay, car, house, whatever.
Go with the car.
Okay, I can gift you car.
Okay.
But because we are not family, you must pay tax on that gift.
Okay.
But law states that within a family members or between a married members, you can give stuff, gift contract. You can gift contract. You have a contract as a gift. So you must make a contract, but you don't name the price. You say it is a gift, and you can give something to family members or to married partners without tax.
Okay.
So that is one example where it is easier to be married, because if you are not married, you cannot, when you give a gift to your wife, for example, you want to give her house or car or something, it is not legally, and you are it is not legally available without a tax. But if you are married, it is available without a tax, because the law states that married members or family members are tax free.
So it's purely an economic model for you.
Not for me. I'm not either for it or against it. I am saying that you don't need to involve state, but when children are involved, so you cannot go to another example. You cannot go to the pharmacy store and take medications, for example, for your girlfriend.
You can. You just have to have their ID.
Okay, you just need to have their ID.
I can pick the one for you. I just have to have your ID.
Okay. When you are married, you don't need nothing. The same surname. You can tell I'm here for drugs for my wife, husband.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Then again, I just took the medication, which is on a social benefits. So
yes,
it's like I didn't have to pay for it, so I had to have a social card.
Okay, but
of my own social card, because
if
it's on a social card.
Okay, but if you have a wife, your wife can take your social card and take medications for you.
Yes, but my friend can also take my social card and get the medication if they have my ID.
If they have your ID, yes, but it is not so simple because
maybe that just depends on who you end up on the other side. Who's on the counter?
Who's on the counter?
Maybe they will give you or not.
Yes, because it is easier when you have the same surname. There will be not so many ID needed because you have the same surname.
There will be not that many demands.
Yes, so the same is with children. So that is why I'm saying that this is marriage is a good legal contract when you have children. It is not needed or necessary when you don't have children, because you can do everything except gift house, gift apartment. But I don't see the point to gift that you will gift your girlfriend with a house or something like that. I don't see the point, because that stuff goes around when you have kids. So you have you give apartment to your wife or kids or something, but you can do everything without the legal. But if you need to do legal stuff and you have kids and you also need to do legal stuff, for example, the kid is at the hospital, who can meet him? The kid is at the hospital, who can meet him? His parents. Okay, so if you're
an adopted guardian.
Okay, or adopted guardian, but adopted guardian need to have documentation. And if you are a parent, documentation. If you are a parent, okay, you also
need the documents, right?
Yeah, because they look the same surname, and it is easier.
Yeah, okay.
It is easier, but in a fair world, it will be the fair world. I think that laws should not be included in a relationship between two people. So you could have kids and you are not married, but you can have, for example, the same rights as someone who has the same surname. But in this world, it is not. It is very complicated. Even people that have, for example, if your girlfriend after marriage keep her surname and you keep your surname, so you have different surnames, you're in the problem. Because I know two people that have that case, and they have every time they have to need documentation to
prove they are married.
To prove they are married. So you go to the bank and he says, I want to pick something for my wife. Okay, where is the marriage documentation? Blah blah blah. When you have the same surname, okay, what is your wife called? Blah blah blah. What are your name? That, and you can do some stuff for your partner. so it is easier. But that is purely because legal setup.
Okay.
But I think
it would be easier if you have the same surname. Okay, that's
yes.
true.
Yes.
But okay, let's go in another way.
Okay.
You're not married
Okay.
and your partner dies. Because you're not married, you're not eligible to any of the belongings unless it's written in a will. And coincidentally, your partner did not leave a will. So what do you do then? How do you prove you are together for that long? And
our law
shouldn't that be one of the reasons why you should get married?
Yes, because it is easier.
Even if you don't have a children.
Okay, it is, yes, it is easier. Yes, definitely it is easier, but we are again in the legal aspect. So I don't see, in practical purpose, I don't see the need for marriage, but in a legal aspect, I think that most stuff are much easier to do. For example, in your case, when you are not married and your partner dies, you need to prove that you were on the same address for a few years, that you were in a relationship. You need to prove it, go to court, you need to have witnesses, blah blah blah. But if you are married, it goes by default. So I think, in my opinion, marriage is to get legal stuff easier, but if you leave that legal stuff behind and you go in a pure relationship between two people, you can do everything without marriage. But for the legal stuff, yes, it is easier to get married.
Okay. And what about the religion? You know, the religion is a very big part of our social norms and social constructs.
Yes, but I'm not religious, so
you don't care.
Heavy word. I don't care, but I don't think that.
Okay, you do not deem it as important.
I think that religion is also some kind of old school, ancient way of legally bounding people to something.
Okay.
That
is a part of it. Okay.
If religion, spirituality, yes. For me personally, spirituality, yes. Religion, no. Because spirituality is private,
okay,
and religion, as you said, can be private, but it is social norm. So I think that is also some way that you can, some old school way that you legally do stuff. But that is the frame that makes things easier in a legal way. In a material world, in a legal way, economics, relationships, giving stuff away or buying stuff or doing something for your partner, religion and everything else makes things easier. But
wait, religion makes it easier to do legal stuff?
Yes, because you can, for example, for example, if you are married, if you are married in a church,
okay,
you don't need. It is backed by state by default.
But you still sign the papers.
Yes,
in
but
the state.
You sign.
It's the same thing.
Yes, you sign the papers, but it is by default. You don't need to. You don't need to have. Okay.
But you do. You actually do sign the state documents that you are religiously and legally married. You sign both documents if you get married in a church, as if you are as on opposed to you getting married in a government office,
Okay.
then you sign just the contract with the government that you are married.
Yes.
But in a church, you also sign the government contract that you're
Okay,
married.
but you're only on one place. You don't need to go to both places.
You don't. But if you don't go to church and do a religious marriage, you still can get married.
Yes. But if you do religious marriage, it is easier for you because you just sign the same papers at one place at the church. You sign all the papers at the church and
you're done with it.
and you're done with it. Yes.
And you go to party.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's true. That's true. That's true. But I'm thinking, okay, let me
Because you
let
can
me ask you
legally.
another question.
Okay.
To you, what is the difference between religion and spirituality? Because you mentioned the spirituality as your go-to way opposed to being a religious man.
Oh, that is deeply personal opinion. I think that religion have some kind of organizational frame,
Okay.
while spirituality doesn't have organizational frame.
Okay.
Spirituality is purely based on your concepts of spiritual stuff that is around us, and the religion includes always some form of some practical form. For example,
I don't understand.
okay,
Are you just let me just try to figure it out.
okay,
Are you saying that spirituality is only in your mind and you don't have to practice it?
no,
And religion you have to practice?
no. Spirituality also has, okay, blunt example. Someone dies.
Okay.
Okay. So if you are part of religion, any religion,
Okay.
you have pre-set of rules that you need to follow when someone dies. There is no religion that doesn't have some rules when someone dies. There are rules.
Okay.
There is frame. There is inherited frame from religion. If from the spiritual standpoint,
Okay.
if someone dies, you bury him as state requires, and
Okay.
you can light a candle at your home, drink a glass of whiskey with for the died one, drink a glass of whiskey. You can do anything you want from your point of view, what you think that spiritual is right. But if you are in a religion based, every religion some kind of form that you need to do that is framed somewhere else, not by you for you, but somewhere else.
So you're saying that religion has a set of rules for the burial and grieving,
Yes.
while your spiritual ways
Are yours?
your own way of grieving, not
Yes.
not bound by the religion concepts
Yes.
or state
Yes.
or the social
For
norms.
example, I would be pissed if I die and everyone was crying and sad and blah blah blah.
Okay.
Okay, if I die, I want that you put Metallica,
Okay.
drink glass a few good happy songs, drink a glass of whiskey in my name, whiskey that I liked.
Okay.
Tell the stories of good time that you had with me, and that day you have fun as if I am around.
Okay.
So that is my concept. But if you have but that concept is my concept for me and for my spiritual beliefs that life is life should be much more happier than it is. Religion, I respect it, but it has its own frame what you need to do, and you will see that many people will unconsciously follow that frame.
It's just because they're repeating what they've seen all
Yes,
around.
because for example, okay, when this go deep, but power is out. For example, when religion will always have a form, and it will have unconscious form.
Okay. Again, yeah, it's a set of norms and beliefs.
Yes. So yes, so I think that spiritual gives much more freedom, and the life should be happier. I cannot stand from that point of view that you need to have some pre-set of rules that you need to follow. And I was at the funeral of one of my friend when he died, and it was a religious funeral, and the priest didn't talk about my friend at all. He read the lines from Holy Book. It is no matter which religion is. He read the lines from the Holy Book, but nothing on that. It was so not personal. Nothing is said about the deceased one. Nothing is said about my friend who just died. Okay, every state has its own concept, but we watched in the movies when someone dies, their best friends go and speak good things about or something like that. But here, by us, when someone dies and the funeral is religious, it is totally non-personal. They even don't mention a name of the one because the priest reads some line, and I don't like it. Spiritual is the way that you can do for yourself, by yourself, your personal relationship with the divine, with the universe. You can share that personal point, but it is your personal point, and you can share it with others and hear others' personal point, but there is no external frame that you need to follow.
Okay, but I mean, it makes sense.
Yes.
So, what would you say? Would you get married and have your own spiritual way of doing it? Let's say, would you make your own ritual if you could? Say you get married and sign state papers. Okay, you're legally married.
Okay.
With the state.
Okay.
You don't have to do a religious marriage.
Okay.
But would you do some kind of a spiritual marriage? Some kind of a ritual that binds the two of you together the way you want to do it, not as the society says you have to do it.
Depends on a person. On a practical level, the problem is okay, for example, you have to combine the wills of both people involved.
That's true. And if one person wants to have a religious marriage, if they really don't want to do anything else, then if you want to get married to them, you will have to do religious marriage.
Yes, you can.
Classic religious marriage.
Classic religious. But if you don't have a classic, but one person wants to, for example, in practice, there is much problem involved here because, for example, okay, you were on would you do some kind of spiritual ritual, but the thing in practice, the thing falls apart even before you get to the spiritual ritual. One person wants a big wedding. One person wants big wedding, other person wants small wedding. One person wants gala restaurant, other person wants cabin in the woods.
But that's just the party afterwards.
But yes, but you have so many things to combine to adjust that both are happy. That when you come to the ritual, okay, maybe if I was in a wedding of few persons that have almost the same rituals and almost the same wants and needs, and everything went smooth. But also I seen the few weddings when the needs weren't so smooth. So I don't know.
And how did that go? I mean, they got married in the end, and it was okay, wasn't it?
Yes, but I think that is almost like a New Year celebration. Everyone thinks that New Year celebration would be something wow, something big, something happy, something extraordinary. And when you get to December 31 on a New Year's Eve, it is not always as expected. And you know that.
There is a lot of things that can go wrong.
Yes.
That is true.
For example, when you burn the electricity or things like that.
What? What do you mean when I burn something? I do not burn stuff.
Your heater was burning the electricity outlet.
Well, that was an unfortunate accident because it was on for 4 days. It's straight.
Okay, but you see what I mean. So,
but that's not something that was okay. Let's put it like that, like this. Nothing bad came out of it.
Okay.
And it's a laughing point now.
That's good point.
Was it stressful at the time?
Yes.
No, not exactly.
No?
No.
Okay. So, but
it's something that happens.
But not every New Year celebration is as good as you expected, or it was.
Of course.
Everyone.
Of course, there's always some stuff. You invite someone and that person doesn't show up, then they said they would. And then you're sad because they didn't show up.
The same is at wedding. But
you have to look the overall picture.
Okay.
Was it good or was it catastrophic, man?
Overall picture.
It's okay. It's a positive event.
Yes.
It should be seen as a positive event.
When you look at the events of your friends, there were positive events. There was good events. There was the best wedding is the wedding. The best wedding that I was on was the wedding of two people that separated after 6 months. But the wedding ceremony was best, and the music was best, and energy was spot on. That is the best wedding that I was on. But they were separated 6 months ago. But I was at the weddings where the wedding was catastrophic, but the marriage later was great. There is in a real life. You know yourself, there are many combinations that can be.
Of course.
But okay,
there are always ups and downs.
Yes, but if you circle it all, yes, if you have the right person and the person is compatible with your views, you can do some kind of spiritual ritual, vows or something like that, to each other. Yes.
Yeah. Just to commemorate. You
Just to
don't have-
commemorate.
Don't
yes.
want to. You don't have to get married, right?
But I don't. The theory of binding at the weddings are too familiar. One ring to bind them all together. No. I
You know, in African countries or in Arabic countries, they can marry multiple people. A man can marry multiple wives and have multiple wives. Then what's the catch? What the catch is there?
what?
Every other wife, every wife has to have the same thing as every other wife. So if one gets a house, another gets a house. Each of them have to get a house, the same size house. If one gets a Ferrari, all of them have to get the Ferrari.
It is complicated enough.
And that's why in Arabic places, people look at you with googly eyes if you have more than one
Okay,
woman.
that is good, but
Because then you're bloody
I
rich.
think that because one relationship is trouble enough, so multiple relationship I don't know, but I think that I respect every part of the culture, but the binding thing, I don't know.
You just don't want to be bound. You want to be a free spirit in all aspects. Unless there's children, and then you have to get married because of the legal stuff.
Yes. Short, but yes.
Okay. That's...
You want to be bound.
Well, I do like the thought of having one person by your side. I'd say always. It's hard to explain.
I
Actually.
understand. I understand.
At one point, yes, I want to get married, and there will be some kind of a certainty that you are with that one person. Can the other person go away at any time? Of course they can. But if you got married, at least in my perspective, if I got married, then I would then that other person would choose me above anyone else. You know? It would be kind of a proof that she likes me enough to spend time with me every day, all day.
No, please don't like me that much ever, because to spend the whole day every day with someone, oh God.
Maybe I just said it wrong.
No, you didn't. This was a joke. You didn't say it wrong, but I think that is in theory that is a great concept, but in practice there is so much challenges in everyday life. When you put yourself and your challenges that you are coming through every day, between a family and the job and the market and the state and the bureaucracy, and when you put other person, all of that ups and downs are multiplied. So yes, it's good in theory, you have one person by yourself and you always got each other's back and everything is great.
No, that's one person that you can rely on.
Yes,
and one person that other one can rely on, because as you rely on them, they rely on you.
Yes.
I'm not saying that you will have all the answers and that you should have all the answers, but at least if it's getting hard, at least you'll be both together.
Yes, in theory, yes.
And then you can lean on each other for support.
In theory, yes. In theory, yes. In practice, sometimes. But ideally, yes. Your concept is good, and I want that you put that concept in reality, and that you find someone exactly like you described. I sincerely wish that for you.
I do too.
I really wish that for you, because in reality, everyday life is too complicated.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm just black today, fade to black.
Maybe. Or maybe we just have too big expectations of marriage. It shouldn't be just about making a family and having children. You should at least like each other.
Yes,
to be together.
That is good start, yes.
Yeah, because a lot of marriages, okay, people say that in historical terms, that arranged marriages had a bigger percentage of success than love marriages, because they say love fades. Okay, love could fade, but I'm not sure that it shouldn't completely go away. Maybe the first infatuation goes away. But then you have a deeper connection with someone.
Yes, I agree with you.
Because you decided to get married because you have a deeper connection with someone.
With time, you have deeper connection. Infatuation fades, but love never fades. I agree on that.
Except if there's something catastrophic.
Arranged marriages are when you are buying car on internet. It is, you can get extra good car that everything is okay, and you can get broken car, so you don't know in advance. So it is some kind of lottery. But yes,
not exactly.
Yes, if the family is.
I think that in arranged marriages, actually families come together, and families decide whether you should get married or not.
Yes, that
okay,
is.
There are some parts where you're just together for economic benefit.
Okay.
But I think that both families want the best for their offspring. So they will choose somebody compatible with their values as a family. Maybe that constitutes to better and longer lasting marriages.
I agree. If you have,
because you have more people who look at the person, the potential candidate, let's say it like that.
I agree.
With their own set of eyes and the family values.
I agree.
So they can better judge instead of just you who choose her or him for yourself.
Yes, but in your case, you need to have a family that is you have two families that are rational enough, smart enough, observant enough that they can assess and project two people. So you rely on skills. It's like stock picking. You rely.
It's always going to be buds.
Yes, but
then more or less.
Okay, we would need to see what statistics says, but I say that it is.
Yeah, maybe we should try pulling up statistics next time.
Next time, yes.
But still, okay.
I think that next time maybe we can have part 2 on this subject.
Part what?
Part 2.
The continuation. Well, we could. We'll see how it goes.
We didn't have until now, so that would be all for today. We will continue next time. I hope that you enjoyed our thought flow.
Yeah. And see you on another occasion.
See you on another occasion. Bye.
Bye.